NBA totals for Saturday, December 10th. We have 3 games on our NBA card. We got 6 games on our NCAA total segment, so be sure to check that one out. Also, as always, be sure to check out SBR for all the odds, totals, numbers that are moving, sports books. They're all there at SBR. Sportsbook reviews, sign-up bonuses, a ton of articles, a lot of good stuff there, so be sure to check out our website as always. Totals, again, is the final score of the game. Oddsmaker set a total. We try to beat that total one way or the other with under whatever the oddsmaker set or over whatever the oddsmaker set. So for you new guys out there, that's what totals is all about. And this is our segment about that. So let's jump right in. Most of you guys already know what I'm talking about, but if you don't, that's the basic synopsis of it. And right now, let's look at some games. Here we go. We got Denver, Orlando. That's the first one up. Oddsmakers have the total of this game at 203.5. And I'm going to go under that total. Right now, neither Orlando nor Denver are shooting the ball particularly well. And what I mean by that is percentage-wise. I mean, Denver shooting the ball right now overall 43.2% from the field. That ranks 25th in the league. Orlando's worse, 42.3%. That ranks 28th. Now, on the other side of the ball, defensively, they've been okay. You got a Denver team that they haven't been great, but they are 18th and 19th in shooting efficiency and opponent effective field goal percentage, which is it's okay. It's right in the middle of the league. But Orlando, they can't score at all. Right now, they're averaging just 94.3 points per game. They're ranked second to last in the league. Denver, they're averaging 105.5, which ranks 10th. That's not bad. They're going to allow some tempo. But I think this is going to be a little bit more controlled pace. And Orlando's been good defensively. Frank Vogel's finally starting to mold them a little bit as the season goes on. And we'll see them get better because he's just too good of a coach. And there's some decent young talent on that Orlando squad. Right now, they're opponents are shooting just 44.2% against them. That ranks 11th in the league. And most impressively, though, they rank 3rd in the league in opponent shooting efficiency. That's really, really good. And that has to do a lot with the tempo that they go at. They're averaging just over 83 attempts per game, which ranks about 25th, 26th in the NBA. So I don't expect them to get really up and down. Denver wants to go pretty fast, but I think Orlando's not going to go with them tonight. I think they're going to go ahead and have a pretty controlled pace. 203.5. It actually looks a little bit low when you look at some of their games over the last couple weeks, but I think Oddsmakers nailed this one. So I'm going to go ahead and back under this total of 203.5 between Denver and Orlando. Next one we got up is Miami and Chicago, 199.5. And I'm going to go under this one as well. I was a little bit surprised that Miami and Cleveland did not go over last night. Miami was terrible. And they're just not a good offensive team. I mean, they're really, really poor, and I gave them a little bit too much credit. Cleveland really stepped it up, and they're going to probably go on like a 10-game winning streak right now. But Chicago's played some defense this year. I've been really surprised out of Hoiberg, the fact that Chicago is still going at okay. They've slowed down the pace. They played better defense, and I think that's because of the veterans they have on this team. But Miami defensively has been fine. They weren't yesterday versus Cleveland. But they're still, the numbers overall, they're coming off a back-to-back. I just don't see them scoring tonight against a Chicago team that right now defensively, they are allowing just 99.9 points per game. That ranks 8th in the NBA. Miami's allowing 99.7, which ranks 6th. Yeah, that's basically the same. But percentage-wise, you got a Chicago team, right now they're allowing opponents to shoot just 47.6% on their 2-point shots. That's pretty good. That ranks 5th in the NBA, and they're 4th in opponent shooting efficiency. That's not bad at all for the Bulls. I think that's the veterans, definitely. Miami, again, not bad at all. 44% from the floor out of opponents. That ranks 8th in the NBA, and they're also 8th in opponent shooting efficiency, and they're 5th in opponent effective field goal percentage. So at 199.5, I just think they don't get there. The pace is not going to be very fast. You got right now Chicago. They're getting up. How many attempts are they getting up a game? 86.8. That's a little bit slower than last year. That ranks 11th in the NBA. That's not that bad. But Miami's going super slow. They're averaging just 85.8. That ranks in the middle league. That's actually not super slow. But Miami's been good in controlling tempo, allowing just over 84 attempts per game. So the way these two play defense, Miami coming off a back-to-back, I think they're going to have trouble scoring tonight. I'm just worried Chicago might blow them out. That's the only thing I'm worried about, why they might get over that total. But I don't think they're going to get there. So I'm going to go back under that 199.5. I think the defenses are going to they're going to play well enough tonight to keep this under that total. So look for Chicago and Miami to step things up defensively and for this not to get up and down. And a few other statistics to go over. I mean, Miami's been really good as well as limiting transition, allowing just 10.5 fast break points per game. They're ranked 2nd in the NBA. Chicago as well has been good in that category, 11.4. They're ranked 6th. So they're not allowing transition buckets. That should help stay under this total. And there's other statistics to go over. But overall, I think I think the defenses are going to do enough to go ahead and stay under this 199.5. All right, last game up we got in the NBA, Golden State and Memphis. 209.5 set by oddsmakers. Man, that's a lot of points, but Golden State, they are ridiculous this year, and I think Memphis is going to go with them. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to back over this total of 209.5. It's big, but I think they get like to 215 or over. I mean, Golden State, they're ridiculous. 119.3 points per game. They're ranks first in the NBA. Of course it does. And they're first across the board in pretty much every offensive category. Memphis, not terrible. I mean, their averaging is 97.5 points per game. But, you know, their shooting percentages, I mean, they're not completely horrible. I mean, they're shooting 33.3% from distance. I mean, that's not horrible. Their efficiency is not great. Their tempo, surprisingly, though, is not super slow as it was last year. The Warriors, they dictate tempo. You've got to run with them. They almost make you do it. I mean, you have to. They're allowing 90.7 attempts per game. That ranks second to last in the NBA, or it ranks, second in the NBA, however you want to look at it. That is a lot. They really go fast, and they should, because they got the talent to put up 120 every single night, as their averages show. I just do not see Memphis not going ahead and running with them. They might try to control the pace. I just don't think they're going to be able to. Golden State's such a tough matchup. So, yeah, 209.5. Memphis has shown that propensity, too. That's my word of the week, by the way. To go ahead and score some points, you know. I mean, at New Orleans, they put up 110. Against the Lakers at home, they put up 103. You know, they're going to be able to score against a Golden State team right now that's not playing that great on that end of the floor. They're not, but they haven't been locked down like they were last year. They definitely have not. Percentage-wise, not bad, but they are allowing opponents to shoot about 48% of their two-point shots. That ranks just inside the top 10. I take that back, though. Actually, percentage-wise, they're playing pretty well. But they just allow so much pace. I mean, even though the percentages are decent, they're allowing opponents to get up 27.6 three-point attempts per game. That ranks 21st in the NBA. So I think they're going to totally control the tempo, as they do every single game. I think Memphis, with Fitzdale now at the helm, this isn't Jorger. I think they're going to go ahead and run with Golden State, and we're going to see something probably close to 215 or over. So I'm going to go ahead and back over this total of 209.5. All right, let's break it down one more time. Been using my computer today instead of the paper. All right, here we go. We got Denver and Orlando under the 203.5. Interesting number there set by the odds makers, but I think that game goes under. Miami, Chicago also under the 199.5, but I'm a little worried that Chicago blows them out. So going to have to pay attention, see where that number goes, but I'm going to go and take under on that. And finally, Golden State, Memphis. I think the only play there is the over at 209.5. Look for Golden State to go ahead and get up and down. Memphis, I just don't think they're going to be able to stop them enough. But Memphis, they could score at times. If they get to a fast tempo game, which I think this game most definitely will go that way, they're going to be able to score. So those are our 3 NBA picks. Be sure to check out our NCAA segment, and don't forget to check out SBR. I wish you luck on your picks today.
Research before you bet. Be sure to check out SBR Picks for the best game predictions, breakdowns, and much, much more.